Talk to us about your work at Def Jam and what your role was over there.
So when I got to Def Jam, it was different. L.A. Reid, the whole corporate structure, it was fly. It was dope. It was classy. You know what I'm saying? I come from the hood, like, you know what I mean? Walmart, like, we was on some hood, like, fifth, but L.A. Reid was a whole nother elevation. We having Philippe Chow's every Wednesday for lunch at staff meetings. You know what I mean? His whole level, motherfuckers fly guy, man. So I'm like, oh, this is different. All right, boom. So now, all right, what I'm gonna do? So I'm looking. I'm trying to. But even before I signed my contract, I was chilling with my boy Johnny Shipes, and we used to just be in his apartment chilling and listening to music, smoking, kicking it. And one day he played me this mixtape, and it was Big Crit, right? So I'm like, yo, bro, I'm about to do something. I can't tell you, but yo, this kid is dope, bro. Who is this? He was like, yo, he was playing me that. Then he was like, yo, I'm gonna play you Nipsey Hussle's group, Slauson Boys, right? So he played me both, right? I was like, no, play that Crit again, though, bro, right? And this is crazy, because Nipsey was already signed to Epic, but he had his crew he was trying to get on. I took to Crit more, right? And when I heard Crit, it's just like, yo, this is different. It's like, yo, this is fire, right? And let me tell you the backstory of why I took the Crit. Because right before I left G Unit, I tried to sign J. Cole there, right? And J. Cole was amazing to me because even though everyone, to me, it was like he was from Queens, he's from the South, North Carolina. But he's a producer and he's a rapper and he had this Southern draw and he had this New York, right? So after I couldn't get him, I was on this search for this other artist that could be in that light. So when Shipes was like, he raps, he did the beats, I'm like, yo, this is it. So I was taking like, this is the same pantheon. Like these are this, they could be like boom, right? J. Cole was already doing this thing. I couldn't get that. So boom, I met with Crit and then we just kicked it. And then a month later, I signed my deal with Def Jam. And then a month later, I signed Crit to Def Jam. That was my first signing. I signed him a month after I started. And it took some time, and me and Shipes and Steve O and Dutch, we all came together and we built it up. And Crit he's a legend to this day, man. And after that, L.A. Reid was like, he just like let me sign him because he didn't see the big picture, but he trusted me. And that's what I appreciated him. He's like, go ahead, Shy. You could do that. So I did that. That was hitting a mark for the underground. But I knew I needed something above ground, right? So as I'm in Atlanta with Crit, he moved to Atlanta, so I'm all the way down there. I always need weed, right? So my weed guy was Titty Boy. That's who I called for weed every time I was in Atlanta. So this one time I'm in the studio, 111th Street, some studio, some right. I think Don Cannon and them own that. And then I'm with this Def Jam song camp at Lenny S. Everybody there. We have people coming in and out. I need some weed. I called Titty. He was Titty Boy, right? Before he was 2 Chainz. He pull up in a Porsche. I'm like, yo, bro, you chilling, bro? I'm like, yo, this was like he was chilling. He came out duffel bag like he was on some. I'm like, yo, bro, what's up? He's like, I just dropped this new mixtape. Check this shit out. And he gave it to me, bro. And the record just on that shortly after took off. As I heard it before it took off and heard that mixtape, I went back to New York and I went to Def Jam and I was like, I want to sign this. I want to sign 2 Chainz. And it was like, wait a second, isn't he already signed? It's like, no, he's with DTP. He's got to, but he's not here, but he's, so let's figure this out, please, please. So immediately I'm like, who's his lawyer? Fast forward, who's his lawyer? Who was my first lawyer? It wasn't my lawyer at that time, but it was my first lawyer. It was the one I brought to Theo Sutherland. So I was able to communicate with Theo. I was able to talk to Tech and build a relationship with Tech, who was 2 Chainz manager, who is 2 Chainz manager. Me and 2 Chainz kept in touch, and we was able, out of just vibes and him to feel it. And then Kanye West started trying, and then it was all Def Jam, but I was able to seal that. Barry Weiss, they all came together, said, go ahead. 2 Chainz was happy, came to New York, signed a deal based on a true story. Classic. And before that, Def Jam was quiet because Jay-Z left. Jay Brown, Rock Nation left. Todd, it wasn't the same vibes. Just hashtag Def Jam back. After 2 Chainz dropped, Def Jam was back. He brought back the energy. Everything started getting better. It was starting to move, you know what I mean? And that was a big moment for me because that shit sold. And he had the Kanye on it. He had everything popping on that shit. So, and I sat through them sessions. He would be tripping on me because he had me in the trap, bro. This was rapping in the trap for real. Like, this was wilding, and then I would fall asleep on the couch with running in and out with Jewel on. He's like, yo, you ain't scared? I said, nah, I've been there. I'm tired. It's 4 in the morning. This nigga walking all night. Like, fifth stop at 9 o'clock. This start at 9 o'clock, man. So his whole schedule was different. I had to get used to him, how his whole system, but that was a good experience, man. And his took off, had the Drake single. That's when I met Mike Will, made it, and I was like, yo, this whole Atlanta shit is about to change the game. So I started just more in the South, you know, from Crit to him, was working with Kid, and just started taking to the Southern artists and just like, yo, New York is quiet right now, so I'm gonna get ahead and get some of this right popping, and that's what I did, and 2 Chainz took off, and that was my biggest signing, and I got all my money. I mean, not all my money. I made Def Jam a lot of money for that, and everybody got paid. Everybody got good. DTP got their money. Everybody got their bread. 2 Chainz is straight killing it. And salute to him and Tech, and that was a success story for me.
If you want to see this full interview without having to wait, you can join our YouTube memberships program for just $8 a month. You get the full interview, behind the scenes footage, and no ads. If you want more, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/diverse mentality. And for $10 a month, you can not only get these full interviews immediately, but also get uncut and ad-free documentaries as well. The link is in the description for both. For those of you that don't know, this Shaw Money XL interview is from my 2023 Get Rich or Die Trying documentary, where I go around interviewing producers and engineers that worked on that album for the making of the process of that album. So check out that documentary in the description below.